Welcome to Earthwatch. Coming up in this week's show, we learn more about the shark exclusion net pilot project in the Western Cape. That's the first of its kind in the world. Also, our tip of the week comes to you from the most visited room in your house, the bathroom.
But first, have you ever considered the damage the city skyscrapers are doing to the environment? Scientists estimate they're responsible for around 40% of pollution, but the Green Building Council of South Africa is hoping to change that.
At first glance, this may look like any modern building, but take a closer look and you'll find no green stones been left unturned.
We have considered a multitude of different things, from energy efficiency to water efficiency to resource use, our procurement policy for the operational side, how we can recycle or separate waste and then recycle downstream. Obviously, the idea first is to minimize the waste generated in the first place through responsible procurement or through growing some of our own foods rather than bringing things in that then have packaging which has to be taken care of afterwards.
The owner of Hotel Verde believes we're not inheriting this planet from our parents, we're borrowing it from our children. With this in mind, he set out to build what's been billed as Africa's greenest hotel.
Every aspect of the hotel and every corner of the hotel is something uniquely different, whether it be the art that we have or even the environmental features that we have. People do see it and they do take cognizance of it, and I think that was the whole aim as well, is that we're wanting to create an awareness with our guests.
While staying at the hotel, guests buy into the idea of going green because they receive points in exchange for doing so, which can be used at the restaurant or bar. So taking the stairs instead of the lift earns you some Verdinos, using the gym a few more.
I think it's something that grows on you, which is exactly what we're trying to achieve with our guests. So having an impact, not just on the people that work here, but certainly with the guests that stay with us. But you eat, live, breathe, sleep, the hotel and what it stands for.
This month, the hotel won an International Trendsetter Award for Innovation and Sustainability in Germany. Here at home, the Green Building Council of South Africa doesn't have a rating system for hotels in place yet, but it does rate office blocks on a green star system. GBCSA head Brian Wilkinson says not only will a 6-star building use up to 60% less electricity, but studies have shown productivity to be 1% higher across companies that occupy a green space.
Lots and lots of global research on this, of showing that there are fewer sick days. Fewer sick days absolutely manifests in a saving to a company. You know, people are there more often. Staff being happier about working there, and again, that must lead to higher motivation.
Good news from the GBCSA is that the idea of building a green office space is catching on. When I asked how South Africa compares internationally in terms of green buildings, Wilkinson said we punch above our weight.
We have close to 1 million square meters of space that has been green certified. So we map really, really well.
The Green Building Council says not only will companies experience great cost benefits from going green, but it's also the right thing to do. Well, we go now from the city to the beach, and Fish Hoek has been dragged down by the title of shark attack capital of the country over the past 7 years. But a project rolled out by the city of Cape Town last year is changing that, and it's been so successful, shark-infested coastal towns worldwide want in. The great white shark. It has haunted bathers, driven away tourists, and tortured the town's economy since the death of Tina Webb in 2004. Witnesses saw the 77-year-old swimmer being thrashed around by a great white. All that was found afterwards was her swimming cap. The shark spotting program kicked into overdrive, and shark flags warned swimmers when it was safe to go into the water. But still, visitor numbers dropped and Fish Hoek took a knock. Last year, the City of Cape Town began a pilot project using a shark exclusion net that's the first of its kind worldwide.
This, in fact, has been the most phenomenal season that we've had since 2006. Since the net was deployed, we have had the beach being busy every day since it was deployed, and for the economy of Fish Hoek over the season, it was the best season we've had in 7 years.
Each morning, the net is dragged into place and hauled in again every evening. It runs from the sea floor to the surface and serves as an underwater fence.
So there's no way for the sharks to actually get into the exclusion area. So it's a complete fence between people and sharks. And that's what's different to other shark nets. Shark nets along KZN coast actually are gill nets. They're staggered along the shore. They don't form complete barriers, and they are effective because they catch and they kill sharks, bringing populations down, thereby reducing risk. So the exclusion net is a completely different concept. It aims to keep people and sharks away from one another.
It may seem like a labor-intensive way of keeping people safe, but the city says the project has created jobs. Deploying the net costs around 1,000 Rand a day. One of its key features is that it's completely environmentally friendly.
It's a very small mesh size, and that's one of the key differences between this exclusion net and a traditional shark net. The mesh size is very small, which means it can't entangle animals, which is one of its key features, and it's quite rigid. So it's also a very thick twine, which means that it's very difficult for animals to get entangled in as well.
We swam the length of the net to see just how safe we felt in the water. The net definitely does provide a sense of security, and according to the shark spotters, we aren't the only people who think so.
There's quite a lot of people that's coming to the beach, and there's a demand right now that the net is being deployed. So it's been quite a positive result.
The project will remain in its pilot phase until May, when the city is hoping to make it permanent.
As always, we love hearing what you think, so email earthwatch@enca.com to let us know if you'd feel safe now that those nets are up in Fish Hoek. You can also tweet us using the handle earthwatch_ENCA. Now, let's take a look at what's making eco-news headlines around the world. Polish scientists have developed a new coal-based fuel. They say the new coal pellets will be cleaner burning and produce less pollution. The new fuel has been tested over the last 6 years, and the manufacturer plans to produce 60,000 tons a year. The complicated production process requires just 5 factory staff members, with the rest of the production line completely automated. Last year, the Polish government committed to reducing its carbon emissions to match the European Union's requirements. The recent unseasonably warm weather in Europe is sending France's air pollution to dangerous levels. Various cities across the country have been on maximum alert. France is regularly warned by European authorities over air pollution levels believed to be due to the high percentage of diesel-powered vehicles. The problem has been exacerbated by a near-complete absence of wind and temperatures around 10 degrees higher than the seasonal average. According to the European Environment Agency, around 400,000 people in Europe die prematurely each year due to diseases linked to air pollution. And Sao Paulo in Brazil is testing a battery-powered public bus to help reduce their air pollution. The 18-meter bus will be tested over the next 6 months. A 3-hour charge time is good for around 200 kilometers in range. The bus project has not received any funding from government, and there's no guarantee it will be approved and adopted.
One of the most frequently visited rooms in your house has to be the bathroom. But surely there aren't too many ways to make it more eco-friendly. Well, you'd be surprised. Take a look.
26% of household water is consumed by flushing your toilet. Save water by putting a brick or weighted container in your cistern. This will disperse the water, allowing it to flush without excessive water usage. Commit your household to a non-bath week and take showers instead. Baths use almost twice as much water as showers, so not only will it help preserve a natural resource, you'll also save on your water and electricity bills. And while you're showering, remember that every minute spent under the nozzle equates to almost 7 liters of water down the drain. Think of the difference it'll make to the environment and your bills by cutting your shower a mere 2 minutes short. Often, bathroom products don't need quite the intense concentration they contain and can still do the same job after being diluted. Halfway through your hand wash, mouthwash or face wash, add water. The product will continue to give you the same results but won't have to be replaced as often, saving you money and reducing your carbon footprint as you are buying less. And we've heard it before, but it does bear repeating. Turn your geyser off whenever you can. It's one of the home's biggest electricity guzzlers, and it only takes around an hour to reheat. If that's not an option for you, the next eco-friendly thing to do is use your hot water sparingly. Having your camera handy at the precise moment Mother Nature offers up something spectacular isn't always easy. But if you do manage to capture something fantastic, kindly let us have it. Here is this week's viewer submission. Every parent can relate to this situation. These energetic lion cubs are making it very difficult for their parents to nap. Peter Teron sent these visuals in from a visit to the Kalahari Transfrontier Park. Kalahari cubs have a very high mortality rate due to the harsh conditions of the Kalahari region. These cubs will remain with the adults until they turn 2 before moving on. And by the looks of things, their parents are clearly counting the days. So that's Earthwatch for this week. We'll catch you next week.
That's right. Please don't forget Earth Hour this week, though. It's just 60 minutes and there's lots of fun stuff you can do in the dark. For now, though, here are the Zooborns. Take care.
Cheers.